Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit you with some uncomfortable truths today. Not because I want to hurt your feelings, but because I want to wake you up. And if that bothers you, good. That means you need to hear it. Let's talk about 4 dumb things that absolutely wreck a man's life. Not slowly, not subtly, but like a wrecking ball through your goals, your relationships, and your potential. First, let's talk about chasing comfort. Comfort is the killer of greatness. We're living in a world where comfort is packaged, delivered, and sold as the ultimate goal. But here's the brutal truth. The more you chase comfort, the weaker you become. You sleep in, skip the gym, eat like crap, avoid hard conversations, and tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. And before you know it, you're living in a body you hate, stuck in a job you despise, and surrounded by people who don't challenge you because you're too scared to be uncomfortable. Comfort is seductive, but it's a trap. Growth lives in discomfort. Discipline is the gatekeeper of freedom. Second dumb thing, living without a mission. Look, a man without a mission is like a missile without a target. It's just spinning in circles, doing damage to everything around it. If you don't wake up with a sense of purpose, if you're not striving for something greater than yourself, you're just existing. That's not living. Men are meant to lead, build, protect, and serve. That doesn't happen by accident. You need a vision, you need goals, you need structure. You need to stop drifting and start driving, because if you don't, you'll wake up at 40, 50, 60 wondering how the hell you got so far off course. Third, and this one hits hard, weak associations. Show me your 5 closest friends and I'll show you your future. You can't run with losers and expect to win. If your crew is all about drinking, gossiping, skipping responsibility, and making excuses, guess what you become? Average. Mediocre. Broke in every sense of the word. You want to elevate your life? Get around men who are hungry, driven, disciplined. Men who call you out when you're slipping, not co-sign your laziness. Iron sharpens iron. Dead weight sinks ships. Every man's got trauma, shame, regret, junk he's carrying from his past, but pretending it's not there doesn't make it go away. It just festers. And when it festers, it shows up in your addictions, your temper, your relationships, your failures. You can't outwork your darkness if you're not willing to confront it. Own your pain, process it, learn from it. Because the strongest men I know aren't the ones who pretend to have it all figured out. They're the ones who have the guts to face what most people run from. So if you're doing any of these dumb things, chasing comfort, drifting without a mission, surrounding yourself with weak men, or hiding from your demons, it's time to stop. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Because life doesn't wait for you to figure it out. It punishes hesitation. And if you want to win, truly win, you got to be willing to do the hard, uncomfortable, disciplined work that most men are too soft to do. Wake up. You're not dead yet. Start acting like it. You want a better life? Then it's time to pay the price. That price is pain. That price is sacrifice. That price is doing what most won't, so you can live how most never will. And I'm not talking about Instagram highlight reels, fake motivational quotes, or renting a Lamborghini for a weekend and calling yourself a boss. I'm talking about doing the real inner work that builds unshakable men. Let's go deeper. You want to know what else ruins a man's life? Lack of standards, not for others, for yourself. You say you want to be successful, you say you want to be respected, you say you want to build something that lasts, and that disconnect, that gap between who you say you are and who you actually show up as is the cancer that eats away at your confidence. Every time you break your word to yourself, you chip away at your identity. And when you no longer trust yourself, everything else falls apart. Your job starts to feel empty, your relationships lose respect, you can't lead anyone because you can't even lead yourself. So what's the fix? Ruthless accountability. You become the type of man who keeps his word no matter what, not just to others, but especially to yourself. You say you're getting up at 5 a.m., then your feet hit the floor at 4:59. You say you're hitting the gym, then you show up and go hard, even when you're tired. You say you're done with excuses, then you shut your mouth and get to work. That's how you build confidence. That's how you rebuild trust in yourself. That's how you rise from average to elite. Now let's talk about another trap, distraction. We live in the most distracted era in human history. You've got dopamine traps in your pocket 24/7. Scrolling, swiping, clicking, numbing. Every time you feel a little stress, you're being robbed, not by some thief in the night, but by your own lack of focus. You think greatness happens on accident? You think legends are made in between Netflix episodes and TikTok reels? No, greatness is forged in solitude, in silence, in the spaces where most people get bored and give up. You want to win? Then you've got to unplug from the noise and lock in on the mission. Schedule your life around your goals. not around your urges. Control your time or it will control you. Dominate your day or someone else will use it to build their dream while yours rots away in your head. Another dumb thing, letting emotions run the show. Now, I'm not saying you should be emotionless. Real men feel deeply. But there's a difference between having emotions and being owned by them. Weak men react, strong men respond. Weak men lose control, yell at their woman, punch a wall, quit when they feel tired. Strong men pause, breathe, assess, then act with purpose. You can't be led by feelings if you want to lead anything in life. This is especially true when things get hard, because they will get hard. Life doesn't care about your plans. It's going to punch you in the mouth when you least expect it. You'll lose people, you'll lose money, you'll fail at things that mattered to you. But that's not the end. That's the beginning of your evolution. You've got two choices when adversity hits: shrink or rise. And most men, they shrink, they blame, they spiral, they hide, but the few, they get sharper, stronger, meaner. They take that pain and turn it into power. That's what you need to do. And let me tell you something else. You don't rise alone. Too many men suffer in silence because they think asking for help makes them weak. That's a lie. Real strength is knowing when you're outgunned and being man enough to seek the tools, the mentors, the tribe to level up. You think you can handle everything yourself? You're setting yourself up to drown. Even the best warriors had teams. Spartans fought in phalanx. Navy SEALs don't go solo. Lone wolves die. You need men in your life who will sharpen you, hold you accountable, and call you out when you're slacking. Stop pretending like you've got it all figured out. That pride will keep you broke, stuck, and average. Humble yourself and level up with those who've already been where you want to go. Now, we've got to hit one of the biggest lies men are swallowing today, that it's okay to settle, that you should be grateful for what you've got even if you know you're capable of more. That pushing for greatness is somehow toxic or selfish. That is absolute garbage. A man was built to conquer, to expand, to build empires, to provide, to protect, to leave a legacy. That instinct in your gut that says, I'm meant for more. That's not arrogance. That's your soul trying to wake you up. You weren't put here to pay bills and die. You weren't built to be a background character in your own damn story. You've got gifts, you've got a mind, you've got hands that can create, a voice that can lead, a body that can be forged into steel. Don't you dare settle. Don't you dare coast. If you feel unfulfilled, it's because you're not fully living. You're not fully tapped in. You're surviving when you were meant to thrive. And thriving takes work. It takes saying no to the things that drain you. It takes saying no to weak habits, cheap dopamine, people who hold you back. It takes getting clear on what you want, writing it down, planning your days around it, and attacking it with relentless obsession. It takes letting go of who you used to be so you can become the man you were meant to be. That man, the one buried deep beneath the layers of comfort, fear, insecurity, excuses, that man is waiting for you to stop playing small. He's waiting for you to stop numbing out, to stop compromising, to stop being led by your wounds instead of your mission. You've got everything you need already inside you, but you'll never access it as long as you keep doing the dumb things that sabotage your own potential. So I want you to ask yourself, how much longer are you going to tolerate a life that doesn't reflect who you really are? How much longer are you going to keep living below your standard because it's easier? How many more days are you going to wake up feeling stuck, lost, or just fine when you know damn well you were built for fire? The world doesn't need more passive, nice guys going with the flow. The world needs warriors. The world needs builders. The world needs men who rise with a purpose, carry the weight, and lead with strength and integrity. You don't get there by chance, you get there by choice. Every day you're either getting sharper or duller, stronger or weaker, closer to your vision or further from it. You don't get to stay the same. Life doesn't work like that. It's movement or decay. You're either building the man you want to be or destroying him through 1,000 small compromises. So here's the call. It's not gentle. It's not wrapped in pre-packaging. It's raw. It's real. And it's aimed right at your chest. Wake the hell up. Cut the crap. Stop doing the dumb things that ruin your life. Choose discipline over comfort. Choose purpose over distraction. Choose truth over denial. Choose growth over fear. The cost of not doing so is everything. Now get to work. Every man has a moment in his life when he realizes that no one is coming to save him. Not his parents, not his friends, not his boss, not his girlfriend or wife. There's no cavalry on the way. And when that moment hits, when you look in the mirror and realize you are the problem and you are the solution, everything changes. But most men run from that realization. They don't want the responsibility. They'd rather stay numb, stay distracted, stay mediocre, because at least mediocrity is familiar. It doesn't require courage. It doesn't demand change. It just quietly kills you over time. Let's get brutally honest. You know what mediocrity really is? It's death on a delay. It's waking up every morning and walking into a life that doesn't challenge you, excite you, or inspire you, and doing it over and over again until you've completely forgotten what being alive feels like. It's looking at your body and seeing a soft, tired reflection of who you used to be or who you never became. It's being in a relationship where you've stopped trying, stopped listening, stopped leading, and now you just coexist in silence. It's showing up to a job you hate, punching a clock, scrolling through your day, waiting for 5 p.m. like a prisoner waits for parole. That is not life. That is not what you were made for. And deep down, you know it. You feel it in your gut, that voice, that whisper that keeps telling you, this isn't it. That's not delusion. That's your conscience calling you to step up. But most men silence that voice. They drown it in alcohol, in porn, in video games, in fast food, in distractions. Every time you choose those things, you're saying no to the man you're meant to become. You're trading your power for comfort. You're choosing sedation over transformation. Let me ask you something, man to man. When was the last time you looked at your life and felt proud? I'm not talking about surface level pride, not the fake kind where you tell yourself I'm doing okay just to avoid feeling the truth. I'm talking about real pride, the kind that comes from knowing you've given your all, honored your word, led from the front, and lived with intention. If you can't remember the last time you felt that, then it's time to rewire everything, because the clock's ticking and no one's handing out second chances when the ride is over. You got to reclaim your fire. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, that starts by declaring war on the behaviors that have made you soft. You think skipping leg day is no big deal? You think hitting snooze 4 times is harmless? You think eating garbage and watching porn for hours isn't hurting anyone? Wake up. Those tiny decisions compound. They don't just waste time, they steal your soul. And guess what? That version is gaining strength while the real you fades. You know what makes a man dangerous? Not violence, not aggression. It's clarity. It's discipline. It's being so locked in on who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going that no amount of chaos can throw you off. A dangerous man walks into a room and commands presence. Not because he talks loud or puffs his chest, but because he's earned respect through his actions. He's taken hits and kept moving. He's mastered himself. And he doesn't need applause, likes, or validation because he knows who he is. That kind of man doesn't just happen. He's forged. And the forge is pain, discomfort, failure, sacrifice. You don't get strong by avoiding struggle. You get strong by enduring it. And not just enduring it, but seeking it out. You need to voluntarily walk into difficulty. You need to train when you're exhausted. You need to say no to your cravings. You need to push through the boredom, the plateaus, the self-doubt, because that is where greatness lives. In the work no one sees. In the grind that gets no praise. You want to be elite? You want to be the kind of man who other men admire and women respect? Then earn it. Build the habits. Build the body. Build the mind. Study. Sweat. Bleed, fail, get up and do it again, show up when it's hard, speak truth when it's uncomfortable, be consistent when no one's watching. That's what separates winners from everyone else. The willingness to do what others avoid. And don't think this is just about you, because it's not. Your life is a ripple effect. You lead by example, whether you like it or not. If you got a wife, a girlfriend, kids, friends, they're watching you. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. You want your son to grow up strong, honorable, and relentless? Then be that man. You want your daughter to grow up with standards, to demand respect, to never settle? Then show her what a real man looks like. You want your woman to look at you with admiration and desire? Then give her a reason. Be the rock, be the fire, be the leader she can count on when the world crumbles. Too many men want to be kings, but they live like jesters. They want the crown without the character, the throne without the trials. You don't get to be king until you've slayed the dragons in your own life. Your laziness, your pride, your weakness, your shame. You don't get respect just because you're a man. You earn it through action, through discipline, through honor. And honor doesn't mean perfection. It means being brutally honest with yourself, owning your mistakes, taking responsibility for your life, and refusing to point fingers You've got to stop waiting for the right moment. There is no right moment. There is only now. Stop romanticizing the idea of change and actually start changing. Start small if you have to, but start. Clean up your space. Get your finances in order. Build a daily routine. Lift heavy. Read more. Cut out the dead weight. Start showing up as the man you wish you were, because every second you delay, you're letting the weaker version of yourself win. And let me be clear, this isn't about being perfect. It's not about never slipping. It's about never staying down. It's about building resilience so deep that even when life tries to bury you, you rise up stronger. Pain doesn't break you, it reveals you. Struggle doesn't define you, it refines you. And every time you choose growth over comfort, you're chiseling away at the version of yourself that was holding you back. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need approval. You just need the guts to look at your life with clear eyes and say, I'm done playing small. I'm done blaming. I'm done hiding. I'm ready to become him. That version of you, the one you see in your quietest moments, the one who walks with confidence, speaks with power, moves with purpose. He's not a fantasy. He's not a dream. He's real. He's in you. He's just buried under layers of weakness and comfort and fear, but he's there, waiting, watching. And he'll only come out when you're ready to burn down the old version of yourself and start again. Stronger, sharper, hungry. You owe it to yourself to find out what you're truly capable of. You owe it to the boy you used to be, the one who dreamed big before the world told him to settle. You owe it to the man you could be, the one who wakes up every morning on fire, on purpose, unstoppable. Stop doing the dumb things, stop throwing away your power, and start building the life you were born to live. No one's coming to save you. Good. That means it's all on you now. Now let's see what you're really made of. You might be sitting there right now feeling a mix of frustration, anger, maybe even a little shame. That's good. Those feelings mean you're waking up. But don't let those emotions paralyze you. Use them. Channel that energy into action. Because feelings without action are just wasted energy. They're the emotional equivalent of spinning your wheels in the mud. You gotta get traction. You gotta get moving. You need to build a mentality so strong that setbacks become setups for comebacks. Life will knock you down. You will fail. You will get rejected. You will face losses that make you question everything. But the man who survives and thrives is the man who stands up one more time, then he falls, who looks failure in the eye and says, "Is that all you got?" Who treats pain like a teacher, not a tyrant, who understands that every scar, every bruise, every tough lesson is currency in the bank of greatness. Look, none of this is easy. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be fit, disciplined, rich, respected, and fulfilled. But they're not. Most men settle because the price of winning is too high. They don't want to sacrifice comfort, face their demons, or put in the hours. But you've got a choice. You can keep settling for mediocre, or you can commit to the struggle that leads to greatness. I want you to think about this. What's the story you're telling yourself about your life? Because the stories we tell ourselves shape our reality. If you tell yourself you're a victim, you become one. If you tell yourself you're destined for failure, you'll find a way to prove it right. But if you tell yourself you're a warrior, a builder, a man who never quits, then you start acting like one. Your mind is your battlefield. Win there first, and the rest falls into place. And remember, change is a process, not an event. It's 1,000 small decisions stacked day after day. It's choosing discipline over desire. It's showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's pushing through the boredom and the discomfort that most men run from. Because your comfort zone is your prison. Your breakthrough lies on the other side of discomfort. Let's talk about what that breakthrough looks like. It's waking up early, not because you have to, but because you want to. It's hitting the gym or the field with purpose, knowing every rep is building a stronger body and a stronger mind. It's reading books that expand your thinking and challenge your beliefs. It's surrounding yourself with men who raise your standards, who push you harder, who hold you accountable. Cutting out toxic people and habits that drain your energy and steal your time. It's setting clear, measurable goals and attacking them with relentless focus. Showing up fully in your relationships, being honest, vulnerable, and strong. It's leading your family with integrity and love. It's making money not just to survive, but to build a legacy. It's learning to manage your emotions, to respond instead of react. It's owning your failures and using them as fuel to get better. That is the life of a real man. Not the one sold to you by culture or media, but the one you build with sweat, sacrifice, and steel willpower. Now, none of this means you have to do it perfectly. You will stumble, you will fail, but you have to refuse to stay down. Every time you get back up, you're one step closer to the man you want to be. Every choice you make either feeds the weak version of you or the strong version. Which one will you choose today? Look around you. What are you willing to trade your future for? How much longer will you let fear, laziness, or distractions steal your potential? The clock is ticking. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Spend it wisely. Invest it in yourself, because the only person responsible for your life, your happiness, your success is you. So rise up. Be the man who doesn't just talk about change, but embodies it. Be the man who doesn't settle for excuses, but demands excellence. Be the man who doesn't shrink from struggle, but charges into it. Be the man who knows his worth and lives accordingly. Your legacy starts now. Make it count. The life you want, the respect, the strength, the purpose, is waiting on the other side of the choices you make right now. It's not a distant dream or some lucky accident. It's the result of relentless action, discipline, and a refusal to settle for anything less than your best. So stop doing the dumb things that hold you back. Take ownership, step into your power, build the man you know you're meant to be, day by day, moment by moment. Your future self is counting on you. The time is now. Choose greatness.